Welcome! If you want more people to hear your message, then you must master the art of connecting with strangers. In the next 6 minutes, you will learn how to do that with Matty Healy from the 1975. Matty Healy is the frontman and main songwriter of the 1975, undoubtedly one of the biggest contemporary bands on the planet. The band are to be applauded for their grit, genius and marketing nows, but it is Healy's ability to connect with strangers that's catapulted the band into superstardom. Tip number 1, be relatable. To connect with strangers, you need to be vulnerable. Not necessarily fragile, unless that is your default setting, but you need to be open and honest, even if you're scared of what others think. Healy said, "I'm not really scared anymore to be myself. I think that I was learning to be myself, and that learning that was what ultimately people wanted." The first step is being honest with yourself. You can't connect with an audience unless you're completely authentic. Matty Healy excels at this. He is fragile, almost tortured, and not only faces his truths within, but he shares them publicly through his lyrics and interviews. While writing, or whatever the creative avenue happens to be, is personal, it is the honesty and vulnerability in the content that connects with the audience. For they are burdened with the same insecurities, anxieties, and hence the deep connection. Healy says, "I have the same anxieties as everybody, like the same things that everyone worries about: social, sexual, financial, cultural." Healy writes from the heart. He writes about addiction. He writes about love and loneliness and depression, feelings of not being good enough, and the fear of never being loved for who he is. Healy's a bona fide star. But why? Not because he's flawed. We all are. But we try and hide it. Healy doesn't. In exploring and exposing his flaws, he removes himself from the pedestal that others placed him on. So he's on the same level as you or I. He's humanised. Where the media and society elevate our rock stars, Healy removes that barrier so he can be one of us, and therefore relatable. This is super rare for rock stars. Authenticity works even on a basic level. Let's say you're feeling nervous. You have a choice. You can A, try and hide it and risk coming across as fake or weird in your attempts to mask it. You start wondering if the audience notices your nervousness, which makes you feel more nervous. Or B, you simply admit to feeling nervous. People will understand and relate. You will stop focusing on your nerves by trying to suppress them. You can then gain composure and move on. Tip number 2, create a community. Healy talks about his audience as a community. They are not numbers or faceless entities that the band market music, tickets and merch to. He cares as he once looked up to bands as his fans now look up to him. The thing with the 1975 is, it's so generational, and I already feel how important we've been to a generation of young people, he said. I know how that feels and how I feel about those bands that did that for me. And this gives Healy great power and influence, something that isn't lost on him. I feel a responsibility to be as socially responsible as possible, and all of my anxieties are like what your anxieties are like. When the band are creating new music, they communicate amongst each other from the lens of their fans. Tip number 3, having a purpose. This is really important to Healy. He has been critical of artists who don't use their platform to try and make a difference.
My point wasn't that Imagine Dragons aren't good. I don't care. Like, if you're that big, if you're like the biggest alternative band in America, radio play wise, and you are saying nothing in your music, if you're just saying words, radioactive, whoa, 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 whoa. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm sure that they're like, but it's just, what's the point? Like, if you can tell me what the point is, apart from escapism.
When you put your beliefs, hopes and dreams for society so openly, and you are completely genuine with it, you will attract like-minded souls. After all, an audience is a tribe of people who have the same ethos, beliefs and goals. And this is when it changes from a fan base or an audience to a symbiotic community where artists or creators and audience jointly contribute to an environment of mutual and sincere benefit. If you have found value in this video and you would like to see more, then please do subscribe. Peace out.